Elora is definitely home, like Elora, Salem, Center, Wellington. It's a great place to have a studio. I like being at home, and the country kind of keeps you calm and able to focus on your work. I don't really have a favorite personal piece, because each piece I'm trying to achieve something, and you always sort of, I think this is true for most artists, you fall short of what you wanted. But I don't follow the main trend in the art world because it's too fragmented and there's just too many directions.
Specific time of day or frame of mind that you're in that you do your best work with?
Yeah, for me it's all been related to when we had kids were little. During the day, both my wife and I were home, so I helped look after the kids a lot, and so at night, I still do my best work at night about 8 and midnight. Those 4 hours are my most productive for large format pieces. Small work and diagrams and illustration, that sort of thing, small works on paper, I can do during the day, but I still primarily do my best work at night.
How did you get your name out?
Like how I promoted myself to begin with? The best thing I did was I did the Toronto Outdoor Art Exhibition in the early 1980s, mid-1980s when I first started, and that I met a lot of galleries and a lot of fine art consultants, and that led to other things, and I always followed up on contacts, and I like that whole side of it, the whole business side of it.
What's the hardest part about being an artist for you?
The hardest part about being an artist, that is a good question. I would say the ability to stay through thick and thin when things don't sell, when you feel like you're in a creative wall. Although I haven't had that happen too many times where you sort of hit like a writer's block, for lack of better description. You have to ride out those phases and stay with it. Because there's a lot of messages in society not to be a creative person, not to go in that direction, and you have to ignore that and trust your inner voice and be creative. A lot of work in the last 2 weeks, so I really feel good lately, but when it's not selling, it's tough, and maybe that's a mistake I made. I should have maybe had something else in addition to being an artist.
What advice would you give to another up-and-coming artist?
I guess to follow your instincts and don't listen to necessarily all the things that the professors tell you at university or the art high school teachers. They all have good advice. You have to trust your judgment, because creativity is a very solo activity, and you have to really trust your instincts and to persevere regardless of what society says. The hardest part is not to lose your initial inspiration, like when you got a big blank white canvas, let's say 3 by 4 feet. For me, I find that really exciting. Some artists or painters don't like that. They're like afraid of the white canvas, like to start, like they don't know where to start, but that's not an issue for me. I just go for it. So like the piece that I sold yesterday in Stratford, right? It's $5,000, right? It sold for.
Yeah.
So I'm getting half of that, right? Or more than half, 55%.
Yeah.
So I have to be happy with that number for the amount of work that I put into that piece.
Yeah.
If I'm happy with that, then the gallery's doing exactly what they should do. Because you got to remember that the gallery has a retail place that they rent or own. So it's like running a business, right? They have a tremendous amount of expenses. And they open up all sorts of opportunities to meet people and place your work that you wouldn't normally get on your own. Especially galleries that are connected with the corporate business world. I deal with someone now in Waterloo called Art Allies, and they're incredibly well connected with the high-tech sector, and they take less of a commission, which is nice, but you have to trust the dealer to look after your work and sort of be aware of your direction as an artist, not like all the idiosyncrasies of each artist, but if the dealer understands who you are as an artist and likes your work, if they're enthusiastic, they're going to sell more work than you'd ever be able to sell on your own.
Just wanna be free. No,
just crazy me, living life too easily. Wanna break free, after all, before my enemies. We can all lose, but never call a truce, 'cause the truth